Hey, you're listening to the C3 Network Podcast with Dan Holland. Our mission is to create a network of microchurches that are finding, teaching, and equipping people to be on mission. Our hope is that this encourages you. Be sure to leave us a review so you can help us share our message with more people who need to hear it. And now, Dan Holland.
Have you ever watched the final minutes of a close game? Everything changes when the clock becomes visible. Every pass matters, every decision counts. No one is jogging, no one is casual. When time is limited, focus sharpens. Now, some teams play to win, others play not to lose. And some just try to run out the clock and hope the scoreboard holds. Now, here's the truth that we just simply can't avoid. Your life is on the clock. The final whistle's coming. The only real question is how you'll play the time that you have left. Welcome to the final episode of The Genesis Way. I'm Dan Holland, and today we talk about the part of time stewardship most people avoid, but everyone lives with: deadlines. Genesis doesn't just show us how time begins. It shows us that time ends. God created time with boundaries. There was sunrise and sunset, evening and morning, beginnings and endings. Time is not infinite. It's a gift with a finish line. See, Genesis 1 ends with God resting, and not because he was tired, but because his work was finished, at least with creation. God finishes what he starts. Seasons turn, years close, lives end. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us there is a time for everything and there's a season for every activity under the heavens. Seasons don't last forever. You know that. They come with beginnings and deadlines. Scripture is clear and consistent. Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom, is what the psalmist said. You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. It's appointed unto man once to die, and after that, the judgment. The Bible doesn't say guess your days. It says number them, because numbered days produce focused lives. Unnumbered days produce drift. Your life will end with one of two reflections. It's either going to be well done or what happened. The difference won't be talent, opportunity, or intelligence. The difference, I believe, will be whether you lived with urgency that was shaped by eternity. In sports, teams that don't understand the clock lose more than they win, even when they're talented. Some teams protect the lead and stop attacking. Others act like time doesn't matter and they just coast. But champions play with intention until the buzzer sounds. They know urgency isn't panic, it's clarity. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lose urgency. And that's where the Genesis way has been taking us all along. Your days are numbered, gave us perspective. Dump it laid out everything. Shape it gave structure and rhythm. Fill it gave purpose. And now, there's Genesis deadlines. Just adds a sense of urgency. Without urgency, purpose just decays. A shaped life without deadline just drifts. God didn't give you endless tomorrows. He gave you today. Let me say something direct. Most people don't run out of time. They waste the time that they have. They say things like, you know what, I'll start when life slows down, or when the timing feels right, I'll get around to it. Or they'll say, I got this, but frankly, they have no plan. Here's the hard truth. Time will never feel perfect. Decide what you want, write it down, and then fill your time with that. And remove everything else. It requires self-control. And that's why the enemy doesn't need to destroy your faith. He doesn't. He just needs to delay your obedience. If he can convince you to wait, he wins. Procrastination isn't a productivity issue. It's a spiritual one, I think. Somebody once said that delayed obedience is disobedience dressed up in good intentions. Paul understood that. In Romans chapter 13, he said, "The hour has already come for you to wake up from your slumber because our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed." Paul isn't scolding. He's waking us up. Your timeline is moving forward, whether you act intentionally or not. And here's a question. If your life were one 24-hour day, well, what time would it be for you? If the average lifespan is 80 years, every hour would represent 5 years of life. Are you in the morning, the afternoon, the evening? Are you playing like the clock matters? To me, it isn't morbid. It's motivating. When you number your days, you elevate your priorities. So here's your final action step. Choose 1 or 2 deadlines in each area of the Genesis way. Make it specific, make it measurable, make it real. For example, say to yourself, I'm going to memorize Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2 by January 31st. Or I'm going to schedule and complete 1 intentional conversation with a friend this month. Or finish the book of James, just reading through the book of James and journal insights by March 15th. Or launch that ministry or work initiative by June 1st. Or for 1 month, I'm going to read the chapter in Proverbs that corresponds with the day of that month. Now, perfection isn't the goal. Obedience is the goal. It's deciding what you want and taking it 1 step at a time. Purpose without deadlines is just intention. Deadlines turn calling into progress. If you want help setting biblical, life-giving deadlines, not guilt-driven goals, click the link in the show notes, and I'll send you the Emperor of Time tool along with the My Life in 24 Hours PDF. And I also want to personally invite you to a special webinar with my friend Tom Ziegler and me. It's called How to Get the Ride of Your Life and Ministry. Again, you can just click on the link in the show notes. If time is God's gift, stewarding it well, that's part of your worship. Genesis doesn't just give us a worldview, it gives us a life strategy. You don't control how long you live, that's for certain, but you do control how intentionally you live life. You have enough time to do what God has called you to do. You don't have enough time to do what He hasn't. Your days are numbered. Your mission is clear. Don't play not to lose. Don't run the clock out. Play to win for the glory of God. That's the Genesis way.
Thanks for tuning in. If you like this podcast, we post a new episode each week, so be sure to subscribe and leave us a review so you can help share our message. We'll see you next time.